Hey, how y'all doing out there? Once again, back again for another video. Got another review I want to do of a phone that came out, 2017, and that would be the Note 8. Now, this phone was awesome, and it still is awesome, honestly. The Note 8 is a great, great device. And you can honestly get this phone now for like 300 and something dollars, between 350 to $400 brand new. The phone is extremely fast, smooth. I mean, no lag at all. The only issue that I've ever had with this phone for me, and it was only two things. Well, I would say, yeah, I'll say two things because the fingerprint scanner was not that big of a deal being where it was. I know a lot of people complained about the placement of it. I'll show you real quick, being up here near the camera, but that was never really an issue for me, honestly. It really wasn't. So, so my only two issues that I had with the phone was the battery life wasn't great. It was good, it'll get you through a full day. No question about that. Definitely get you through a full day. But it just wasn't great. Like the previous Note 7 had a battery issue. So, and that had a 3600, yeah, 3600 milliamp battery in that. And when they came out with the Note 8, I guess they were trying to play it safe, and hopefully not have any more battery issues because that cost them billions of dollars. They put a 3300 milliamp battery in this phone. And it really cheated this phone because the display is so much, is the biggest display they had in any of their phones. Like, as far as the notes, the biggest Note phone they ever had was this phone here with a 6.3-inch Super AMOLED Quad HD display. And the display is absolutely gorgeous. It's just beautiful. No question in that. But for something this big and, with that many pixels and pushing that much, pushing that many pixels, over 500 pixels per square inch, you need a bigger battery. And the battery just just to me wasn't up to par. It just wasn't big enough. Not 3300 milliamps. Now if they at least went maybe 3500 milliamps, maybe. But because the screen was so enormous, they really needed a much bigger battery, more like a 4000 milliamp battery, which is what they put in the Note 9. So my issue with the Note 8 was the battery and the fact that it had only one down firing speaker. Now, a phone like this should have had dual stereo speakers. And it only had one down firing speaker, which sounded okay, but didn't sound that great. So those are my only two major issues with the phone. Other than that, this phone is awesome. I love the height of it. The Note 9 is a little wider, but the width of this didn't bother me. It didn't have really big, thick bezels on it, much thinner than any previous Note phone before it. It comes with 64 gigs of onboard memory. It has expandable memory up to 256 gigs, so you can put a SD card in there and expand your memory. It's IP68 water and dust resistant. Has two 12 megapixel cameras on the rear, both with OIS, optical image stabilization, autofocus. You have the almighty S Pen. You have an 8 megapixel camera on the front. And the camera on this phone is really, really impressive. I mean, I know people are always saying the pixel's number one, but for me, it comes down to personal preference and what you think looks good to you. Everybody say pixel, 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 but I've seen comparisons between the Pixel and the Note 8, and the Pixel didn't look that much better than the Note 8 to me in a lot of the reviews I've seen. So it just comes down to personal preference, honestly. And some people are going to agree with that. Some people won't agree with that. But I'm just talking for me and what my eyes saw. So the Note 8 has great cameras. Now the front facing camera is not that great. That could be much improved. But the rear, awesome cameras. The video on the phone is awesome. That's excellent too, because I've done some video recording on it and it was very crystal clear and sound really good. So I'm very impressed with that. Of course, on the Note 8 also, you have the S Pen and you have a headphone jack. And you had USB Type C, fast charger. Also comes with fast wireless charging. So the phone is just completely loaded. Now the S Pen, like I said, the S Pen is what separates this phone from any other phone on the market without question. The S Pen is just awesome. I love the S Pen. I just can't be without my S Pen, even though I don't use it every day. It's just good to know that you have it, even if you don't need it. But I rather need it and not have it than have it and not need it, or not need it and have it than need it than have it and not need it. You know what I'm trying to say. So I love the S Pen. I love what it can do, all the functions that come with it, and of course with the Note 9 they took the S Pen to a whole nother level. But I just love the Note phones. The Note 8 was my favorite phone and the best phone Samsung had ever made, in my opinion, until they made the Note 9. And of course, the Note 9, they took it to another level. But we'll talk about that, the Note 9, in another video. But just to finish up with just the Note 8, this phone is definitely worth picking up. No question about it. If you didn't want to pay that $1,000 price tag for this phone when it first came out, definitely it's worth getting it now, because you're going to pay max maybe I say between $400 and $450 for a spanking brand new Note 8, and it's definitely worth it. You got the One UI update is on there, plus it got updated to Android Pie. So I'm telling you right now, the phone is fast, it's fluid. You have the dark mode that's on here, which is awesome, and I just absolutely love that feature. Show it to you real fast. I just love this. I just love this dark mode. I just love it. It's easy on the eyes. It saves your battery. It's just all that. And then with the One UI, the screen comes all the way down, as opposed to just having the on-screen buttons. Now that's a choice. You can have the capacitive buttons on the screen, or you could just do the gestures, which brings the screen all the way down, so you fill up the whole display. Which is what I prefer, to fill up the whole display. I've gotten used to the gestures. They're not bad at all. So all I'm saying, the phone, this is going to be probably the best phones you could get for that price, that basically has everything you could ask for in a phone. I'm telling you. Now, like I said, the battery's not terrible. It'll get you through a day. You know, with medium, I'll say light to medium usage, you can easily get, I say, 12 hours. But if you really go hard at it and you have your brightness all the way up, like I like mine, my brightness all the way up, I like everything on. I forgot to mention the always on display, which is another one of my favorite features of this phone as well. See, I love that. You got your time, you got your date, you got your battery percentage, you get all your notifications down there, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So I forgot about that as well. So you got that going for you. So, you know, the phone is just absolutely loaded. And once again, still has the headphone jack. And a lot of people like the headphone jack. I know I do. You know, Bluetooth is all right, but it's something about that wired connection that just sounds better than Bluetooth alone. So my advice, if you want a flagship phone and you like big phones, and you want the S Pen, and you want a quad HD display, and you want water resistance, and you want dust resistance, and you want great cameras, and you want 64 gigs of memory, and you want to be able to expand your memory, and you want that beautiful quad HD display, and all the other things that I didn't even mention that comes with the phone, get this phone. It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. That's why I still have it. I don't want to give up this phone. I love this phone. And it's a good backup phone for me if something ever happened to my Note 9. I still have the Note 8 and it works just fine. No issues with the software whatsoever. No lag. Just as fast and smooth. I mean, very, very snappy. Okay? All right. Well, that's it for me, guys. We'll talk to you again soon. Peace.